The Shepnaz Podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz Podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today. Yesterday, we had a Ministry Expo, and so today we have a special episode of the podcast where we're actually going to be broadcasting from the Central Complex here in the Kahana campus and giving you a little bit of a tour of everything that's going on here at Shepherd and ways that you can be involved. If you see anything during the podcast that says, hey, I want to be part of that, you can always email us at podcast@shepnaz.org. So we'll start with Karen Moss and I here in the control room, and we'll hear from her first. Karen, tell us a little bit about what you do as an online host.
Well, mostly my goal is to make everybody online feel welcome. And to give them all the information that they need to participate online just like they were here at church. So honestly, all I do is log in, and Joe has everything set up so we don't have to do announcements or we don't have to do anything.
Well, I appreciate you giving me some credit there, but actually it goes way beyond just me. In fact, I want to thank our tech director, Jason Gleam, and my son, Joshua Elshire, for helping us in the Central Complex and in the control room. They're really bringing this about right now as we are talking. And Karen, about how long have you been doing this now?
I think I started during 2020, during the shutdown of COVID. And when we moved back into live services, I just kept doing it because I really like it.
Well,
I like the people that worship online.
Well, and I'm sure they like you too. You know, I look through the chats. I don't get to be on there all the time because of other responsibilities, but I try to chime in whenever I can, and it is just great to see the camaraderie between you and those online attenders, and with Scott and with Sarah, and actually Tim Swanson's on there very often, and you can always reach out to any one of those hosts. And again, we want to make sure that you understand that if you are at home, this is something you can do remotely. Now, Karen actually does it here in the building because she likes to be in the building and be around everybody else. Other people, like right now, Scott's hosting remotely. He's actually hosting from home, so he's watching from home just like any other online attender, and he's able to participate and serve and host in that way. So again, we're going to go ahead and cut over to the actual Ministry Expo that's happening in the Central Complex right now, and we're going to cut to one of our other online hosts, Sarah Bauscher, and she's actually going to serve as our field reporter today. So welcome in, Sarah.
Hi, Joe. Thanks for having me today. We've got a lot of people coming in to check out all the different opportunities to serve here at Shepnaz.
All right. So tell me what booth we're going to start with.
We're going to start with the school.
All right. Well, let's head on over to the school.
All right.
I'm assuming at this point perhaps we might see a Mike Fluhart, maybe.
Well, we've got a lot going on. We've got a lot going on even this summer. The big thing we're doing first time is a kindergarten food camp. That was for those preschoolers going into kindergarten. So we're inviting families, if they got a kindergartner or a pre-kindergartner, to come over, and we kind of work with them to make sure they're ready for kindergarten. And then we just got a lot of volunteer positions during the year that would help out a lot.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it. I think we're going to move on over to the kids' ministries next, Joe.
All right, kids ministry, and recently we have Pastor Brett Dillinger that has taken over on our kids ministry. So let's head on over to that table and see who we have there.
Hey, Brett. We've got Brett here. As you mentioned, he's the new pastor for the Shepherd Kids Ministry. And tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
Yeah, so today here at the Ministry Expo, we have our kids table set up. We got a sign-up sheet, a little bit of information about kids ministry and opportunities to volunteer here. Primarily, there's 3 ways that you can serve in Shepnaz Kids. It's pretty straightforward. There's an elementary class that is usually in here, but as I'm sure you can guess, is not taking place right now. There's also a preschool and a nursery class that happen just behind the central complex. And so we always need volunteers. We need people to help lead classes, to just like get to know kids and spend time with them, develop relationships with them, and also just to care for our kids, right? Like we have infants like birth to 2 in the nursery, and like how much fun could that be, right? Just taking care of kids, playing with them, getting to know them. There's so many great opportunities, and there's lots of things that like I'm not even advertising here for. Like if there is an event that you want to help plan for, you can get in touch with me. If you want to be the person that's like, I love running errands and you want to get construction paper for kids ministry, let me know and we'll make it happen. But yeah, there's lots of ways to serve, and we're just like really blessed for any ways that people are willing to volunteer.
So that's great. So if they want to reach out, they should reach out to Brett directly. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Brett. We appreciate all that you're doing here at Shepherd.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, so if you're with us so far, we've had 3 stops on the Ministry Expo. First of all, we talked about the being able to host on live stream, also Shepherd Christian School and the Kidsmen. I do recognize this person. I think we're getting ready to talk about Shepnaz cheerleading.
Joe, and I believe we've got someone that you know pretty well here, Miss Susan. Susan, tell us a little bit about Shepnaz cheerleading.
So Shepnaz cheerleading is children who are interested in cheering from kindergarten through 4th grade. It's an upwards program, so there is a devotion that we do, and we just go out there and cheer for the teams and have a great time.
That sounds great. What kind of age groups do they offer?
So it is for kindergarten through, I believe, 4th grade, and we definitely need coaches. So coaches, their commitment is just 1 hour a week. We teach you everything you need to know, so you don't even have to have cheered before. We have a great time, and then there's a game on Saturdays in January.
And then if anybody's interested, who should they contact?
They should contact either myself or Heather Grope, and we can have that information available to you guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to hearing you cheer this next season.
And as with any of these ministries, if you want to be able to be involved in anything that you're seeing online, you can go ahead and email podcast@shepnaz.org and say, hey, I just saw that thing and I think that would be kind of cool for me to be involved in. I'd really like to be involved in that. All right, so I think we might have the Shepnaz basketball ready to go. We just heard from cheerleading, and now we're headed to basketball.
All right, Joe, we're here with Mr. JR, and he's going to tell us all about the Shepnaz basketball and a little bit about maybe even how long we've been doing it.
Yeah, this is going to be the let me check my notes. This is 1991, the basketball league's been going. So it's almost older than me. But so we're here looking out for volunteers. We're trying to change up a little bit of how we do the volunteering this year. So we're looking for coaches, as always. We're starting a new ministry team. So anybody who wants to help with the devotional, kind of spreading the word to our players, that's something we're implementing this year. We're also going to implement a hospitality team, so like greeters and kind of runners in the building. If anybody's lost, we got a nice smiling face, like in here. Scorebook and scoreboard. We also have the concession stands in both gyms on Saturdays. So anywhere you can help. This is one of the biggest leagues in all of Gahanna, not just in the church. So this is something that we're really passionate about. We can get a lot of people in the building every week. We've got 500 people, kindergarten through high school, every season that come into our building. So it's a great opportunity. So we'd love to have everybody come out and help us out.
And again, I think you said, JR, it's not just local to the church members, right? So it's a community organization.
We've got kids from Gahanna, Pickerington, Reynoldsburg, New Albany, all around kind of coming into play because they know that Shepnaz basketball is a very huge league and it's a fun league. That's the biggest thing. We try to keep it fun. So any way you guys come help out, please do.
That sounds great. And again, if they wanted to help out, reach out to yourself or who else?
Yep, reach out to me, Mike Taylor as well. One of us will find a way to put you in. You tell us where you want to help. We will definitely find a spot.
Awesome. We'll have a great season this year. Thank you.
Sarah, before you leave there, if you could just find out from him, like at what time do they start their season?
What time do the season start and about what's the commitment as far as
so
time? length of time?
Basketball season will start around November. We'll start doing registration in September for players. Coaches time commitment will be starting in November into December for practices. Everybody else, the hospitality team, the concession stand, and scorekeepers will be January through March. Our ministry team and our coaches team will be November-ish until the end of March, or middle of March.
And on a Saturday, what's the time commitment?
Saturday will be, depending on what you're in, if you're in a coach, it'll be an hour for your game. Ministry team, it'll be anywhere from a couple hours. So basically, games start at 8 a.m. and they'll end about 6 p.m. We're trying to figure out the exact time frame right now. We'll try to have it in shifts. So a couple hours on a Saturday, a couple hours on Thursday and Friday night.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, JR. Have a great season.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So where are we headed next here, Sarah?
We are headed to the Sports Ministry next show.
I see some familiar faces. In fact, I remember a guy that was throwing a disc not too long ago. This would be Adam, a.k.a. Ace. His identity has been revealed. So could you tell us a little bit about our disc golf program?
Yes, so Adam, we hear your nickname is Ace, and so...
Not my nickname. That wasn't me. It was somebody else.
We want to know a little bit more about what's the Sports Ministry. Okay.
So the Sports Ministry includes a couple different sports. One is men's basketball. They play kind of a casual rec league on Sundays. But I'm here to talk about disc golf. We play on the first and third Sundays of every month. We change courses, usually keep it around Columbus. And it's just real casual. Come out. If you've never played before, we always have discs to help you learn how to throw them. We have discs that you can borrow. We have discs that you can keep if you really love them and you stick with us for a while. We have these little markers that you can earn if you come and play with us 3 times. So, yeah, join us. If you have any questions, reach out to me. The information's all on the website. Be happy to get you synced up. We have an app that we use to coordinate all of our events and everything. So.
And about how often do you normally meet?
It's always the first and third Sundays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then randomly we'll post in there, hey, I'm going to play around at Whitehall or wherever. And sometimes we play glow disc at night. That's really fun. We just did one of those the other night. Nothing like finding your disc in the dark, but they actually glow in the dark. It's really cool. So it's actually easier to find your disc.
That sounds kind of cool. I think that would be my time, is to find them that way instead of trying to search for the missing disc during the daytime hours.
You can see it under the water even.
That's pretty cool. Know if you've lost it or not, right? Or if you're willing to go in.
Water. Yeah.
Well, that sounds great.
Right.
Thank you so much, Adam, and congratulations. All right, now we're going to try to move on over to student ministries. Luke and Miss Brianna.
All right, and tell us a little bit about the Shepnaz Youth Program, what they're doing here recently.
So what's a little bit about Shepnaz Youth Program, and what do you guys got going on?
So we have lots of fun stuff. We have a couple of things that we do throughout the week. Our biggest event is on Wednesday nights, where our 6th through 12th graders come and we play some games. We have worship, fellowship. It's just a great time for our adult leaders to connect with our students and build relationships with them and disciple them. And we do super fun events. We have this thing called Fuse, which is the first Wednesday of every month, where we gather and just do a fun event. It's kind of focused on outreach and bringing people in from the community. Also, it's a good chance for our students to invite friends. One that we have coming up next week is we have a bonfire. So just different things like that for them to have fun, but also cultivating an environment of discipleship and just mentorship with our adult leaders.
So one of the coolest things about the youth ministry is that we get to incorporate everybody in the ministry. So it's not just, we don't just have volunteer opportunities for the adults as leaders, but we also have plenty of opportunities for the students themselves to serve within the youth group. And we also encourage our students to participate in other ministries around the church. And a lot of that happens because of the discipleship that they get through the youth ministry. It's just amazing to see.
Well, I know I've enjoyed watching some of the youth play their the music and do the worship leading and stuff like that, so that's pretty awesome. And then, of course, I've seen you dancing on some of the floors, too, with the dances you've had going on recently. So I'm really impressed with what's going on. So, again, anybody that can come and wants to be with youth and want to get out there and help with that ministry and then just volunteer. And, again, it doesn't matter what age, right? I mean, we'll take anybody from 100 years old on down, right? So we're willing to reach out to Brianna if you have any interest and or Luke. Go ahead, Joe.
Definitely had a question posed to me about some of the stuff going on with the youth this summer. One person was wondering, they might not have time to volunteer, but they were interested in giving financially. And I know we have some camp programs coming up this summer. I think the Shepnaz youth are doing Nashville, and I think some of the younger kids are doing Camp Katuvik. If they wanted to be able to sponsor someone, how can we get a hold of them to let them know that they could sponsor someone?
So Joe said he had someone reach out, said they wouldn't really be able to help this summer, but they would like to help financially to help maybe sponsor kids to some of the camps and stuff. So how could they handle sponsorship?
First of all, that's amazing. Thank you. We have a lot of students that we have various trips throughout the year, and it can add up. It can get expensive. So a way that you could do that is just reach out to me. We can connect over email, or you can call me and we can set that up. But that is amazing. That really helps our students out a lot. So thank you for your generosity.
Thank you very much. Any more, Joe, from your side?
All right, well, we're ready to move on to our next stop. So where are we headed on this tour?
Thank you, guys. We'll be heading on to Josh here for the missions trips. We've got one coming up here to Uganda. So, Josh, can you tell us a little bit more about the missions trips, what we've got coming up, as well as maybe some of them that have happened in the past?
I cannot say a lot about what has happened in the past, and I don't know a lot about some of these other mission trips, but I know about Uganda. So my wife and I are actually leading a mission trip to Uganda next year in July. It's going to be epic. I say everybody who can, who still has the energy to, and who feels led by the Holy Spirit to serve and give back to God and change lives all across the world. This is a mission for you. I believe there's a lot that God is doing in Uganda, and I would like us as a church to really be a part of it.
So I believe you're from Uganda, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
So you'll actually be going home, so that'll be a nice trip home, I think, to see family, hopefully, as well as to support others in the area for Christ. What type of things would you be doing on the trip? Do you know yet, as far as helping and building or anything like that?
I have an idea. So we're actually going to be helping with construction, like building new buildings for the school, for the kids. I think there are also buildings that need repairing, like the dance studio. There's a worship academy for the kids where kids actually learn, go and study ministry, and that's where they grow in their ministry and service to God. But also we're going to be able to meet with the kid, go to the babies' home and have some time with these babies that have been thrown out or abandoned by their parents. And I feel like that alone, I feel like it's going to be life-changing, not only to the people in Uganda, but to us as the people going to Uganda.
Will there be any fundraising activities to try to raise money to help those that might want to go but not have the funds to go?
Yeah, so actually, I believe the Total Children's Choir is coming in December, and I feel like that's the day as a church we're gonna take it up to ourselves to actually help fundraise for the things we're gonna be doing in Uganda.
That's great. I know I saw the Watoto Children's Choir several years ago, and they were actually wonderful, and I've got their CD, and I listen to it in the car all the time. So if you are, not only if you're going to go to Uganda, if you just have a chance to come and listen to them sing, it's amazing. And especially, again, if you're not able to go to help them fundraise, that would be awesome as well, to send people from the church over there to help in Uganda. Back to you, Joe.
All right, we certainly look forward to seeing that. So, Sarah, where are we headed next on our stop?
We are
here?
heading to the prayer ministry group here, and we'll have Miss Fran give us an understanding of how the prayer ministry is used here at Shepherd. And we've also got Mr. Shane here with us as well. Hi, Shane. How are you doing today? You're doing great. I love it.
For those that aren't aware, the intercessory prayer team, we have a prayer room in the back of the sanctuary. And during our worship services on Sunday, we always have someone back there praying. And in fact, at the end of services, we give people an opportunity, if they would like to be prayed for, that they can do that. So if you would, Sarah, introduce us to Fran, and she can tell us a little bit about her experience and a little bit about the prayer team.
Perfect. Okay, Fran, he's ready for you. So Joe was just explaining a little bit about how we've got the prayer ministry in the back, but can you explain who you are and introduce yourself and then what you do?
My name is Fran Keelan, and I am one of the leaders of prayer ministry, and we have people in the prayer room who serve during the services, praying for the services, but we also have a list of people who receive prayer requests during the week and pray for those requests. And we also have the doors open to the prayer room after each service for people who want to come in for personal prayer. And it's such a blessing. It is such a blessing to pray for people.
Well, I know Pastor Rob has said a few times that he can tell when there's people back there praying over the service versus when they're not. So, I know that it means a lot to everybody to be able to know that they're being prayed for and for whatever situation. So anything that comes in on those Connect cards that you send in, as Fran mentioned, will be sent out to the prayer group team that will help throughout the week to pray for your situation. And we love to hear about praises too, don't we? That, especially after we've been praying for a while, we like to hear that those things have been answered.
God for those. Yes, absolutely.
Well, if anyone wanted to get signed up and help with the prayer group, how should they go about that?
They can come, approach me or Kay Gibson, and we will get them signed up for it. And they can also call the office and mention to the office that they would like to sign up for the prayer ministry.
Okay, go ahead.
And who else do we have here, Sarah?
Kay Gibson, and she is also a co-leader of the prayer ministry, and you can approach her also if you would want to sign up for it.
And we need men to help pray for other men, and we can use some younger people as well.
So men and younger people would definitely be a help for at this point in time, or anybody, but definitely those are areas that we could use some additional volunteers. So thank you both. Have a great afternoon.
Who are we getting introduced to now, Sarah?
We've got Barb, is it right?
Barb
Eckert?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit more about Prayer and Praise,
well,
please.
Prayer and Praise is a ministry for people 55 and over. We do a lot of things. We do a lot of visiting. We have a yearly retreat that we go to Amish country, which is great for all of us. We love that. There's a list of things that we do. We meet at the church every Tuesday at 10, and we have a minister that speaks to us. And then after that, we all go to lunch. And it's usually in the Gahanna area that we do that, so we keep the Gahanna close to us. There's many more things that we do. I can give you a list. Can I take my sheet and tell you of all the things? We do have a man who is in charge of this. We have a committee, and we decide on different things to do. Like, we always go to the La Comedia Dinner Theater, and that is for our group. And we also have other possibilities that we go to Malabar Farms, we go to the Ohio History Museum, Ohio Star Theater, and La Comedia has been such a good thing. They have a play almost monthly or every 2 months, and we have a group that always goes to that. We're a busy group, 55 and over, but we still don't sit around in a rocking chair. We do whatever we can to keep busy.
And I think a lot of it prayer and praise. So what type of efforts are you doing from the prayer side of things?
Every meeting we have a prayer sheet, and people can fill out what their prayer requests are. And of course, then that is also our group keeps in charge of that. We also have a care team that sends cards to all the shut-ins in the church, and that's a big issue because we've got a committee that does that, and they're very reliable as far as like sending cards every month.
So staying in touch with them and keeping them part of the community as well, right? So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Barb. I appreciate all that you're doing, and I know the trip that you just got back from Amish Town was really awesome. I saw a lot of those pictures, so it sounds like it was a lot of fun.
We hope you've been enjoying getting to know some of the things that are going on here at Shepherd, and perhaps it's inspired you to think of ways that you can get involved. You can always email us at podcast@shepnaz.org, and if there was something in particular that you saw that you wanted to get involved in, that'd be great. If there was something you said, I didn't see this, and God is really calling me for that, then email us that too, and let us know that you want to be involved in a new ministry that God has laid on your heart. Check out everything at the church at shepnaz.org. For everyone at the Ministry Expo, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.